He was like a god to me. When you talk of loyalty, I gave him all. I loved him so much. My relatives, my siblings, my father, my mother, everybody meant nothing to me.
I lived there as one of the closest disciples, a loyalist to the core.
I was very close to him. I was just like the number 2 in the synagogue church of all nations. There are certain things he told me personally that I know many of the disciples never knew. He knows exactly what he wanted to achieve. He had special interest in the Oyibo, the whites.
I'm not surprised that God is using a black man. Never ever have I seen the power of God manifest like it's here.
The greatest in the Pomp Synagogue Church was when the foreigners started coming. This was strategic, and it was planned.
I just got a confession to make that I want the whole world to know. In the past, I've always hated blacks. I really hated them. When I got back over here, I saw the love that we received from black people.
He used the white people to market his brand. Having white man or white woman around is like, you have achieved. He just say, look at these people. They don't know where they are.
My people, I want to ask you for a favor, especially the followers of TB Joshua, especially the followers of these false prophets. Listen to this documentary with an open mind. I'm going to cut all the 3 episodes that have been released in manageable pieces. I'll just pick up the pressure points, the punchlines, so that we can have this conversation in context without putting everything out there. The point that we just want to get to is Joshua was not of God. He was not being used by God. He had nothing, no ounce of purity in him. God always vindicates me. And I've told you so many times, he is with us more than he is with them. They will not stand the test of time. All of them will crumble to the ground. Joshua might be hiding wherever he is, but his day of reckoning is upon him. Soon he will come out and apologize. Most of you have been asking me, why would he hide? Why would he fake his death? The crimes, atrocities that this man called Joshua brought to humanity are beyond Boko Haram. You can never see the picture if you are in the frame, and you can never read the label if you are in the container. I don't have anything against the followers of these Jagabans because they are in the picture, they are in the container, they are in this confined belief system of thinking or believing that these men are being used by God. Continue listening.
Each one that goes home tries to contact his brothers, contact his friend in US, contact those in UK.
What do you have to say? I never experienced anything like that before, but I will bring all of this back to my country. I will tell people.
Things started changing fast, started moving on a fast lane. He knew there would be explosion. You see long queues, hundreds of people. Visitors are coming, whites are coming. It's something huge. Those who came from UK for the first time, he paid their tickets. Those who came from America, he paid. Every part of the world, he was paying.
For TB Joshua, it was a game and a trap that he sets for the white people.
Emmanuel! He called me, Sagomo, I need to make these white people my disciples.
When I first got to Lagos Airport, we told them that we were going to the Synagogue Church of All Nations. Oh, go through. It was like a free pass entry to anything. They're just like, oh, go through. Of course. Oh, yeah, you're here. Yes, off you go.
Right from the moment that I landed, I just got super emotional. I'd made a pact with God. I want to know the God of the Gospels. I want to see those miracles. And if I can't see them and they're not real, I'm out of here.
The whites, they didn't come to become disciples. It's when they got to the synagogue church, that's when the manipulation starts. Some intelligent disciples are being sent to stalk on the whites. It's not everybody that we approach. We look at you when we see the way you fall into what is happening in the synagogue church. We'll come after you.
They don't know we are picking them. But myself and TB Joshua, we know what we were doing. He loves young ones, right? He loves young ones, teenagers.
We don't go for the old people. The young ones, they are very vulnerable. And they are the easy people to manipulate, especially unmarried people. Especially unmarried young people.
I was 17 years old. I got my A-level results while I was in Nigeria, but I couldn't care less about them. I wanted to be like Jesus. I wanted to be like TB Joshua.
I wish I could have that connection with God. I wanted to be like him.
He said, tell them that they should be missionary for the synagogue. You stay here 3 months, you become like TB Joshua.
Let me tell you, he's going to open branches in UK, in America, and everywhere. He's not going to send us to go there. You are the person that will go there. Make them begin to crave to be disciples. Begin to surrender their lives to Joshua.
When Rachel came, Rachel was behaving like a boy, walking like a boy. He said, that girl, why don't you ask her to stay here? And she was happy.
Bissula recruited me. My bags were pulled out of the truck. My friend was put on the plane. My parents collected her at Heathrow. She was basically crying like, Ray's not coming back. She's like stayed there.
A Nigerian sister came to me and said, TB Joshua wants to meet you. There was an urgency there. No, you have to come now. You have to come now. And when I entered, the Nigerian sister kind of pushed me to kneel down. And immediately TB Joshua said, God's told me you're going to stay. You're meant to be here. You're going to stay with me forever. We were living on site in the church. When you live at the compound, you don't leave the compound. There's armed men at the gate with guns. There's a wall. There's barbed fencing. The windows are blacked out. The stairs were concrete. The walls were concrete. It felt like a labyrinth. You're told never to leave. You could get killed. You could get attacked. The outside of the compound is terrifying.
The disciples were a group of about 100 at a time from Nigeria, from the UK, from America, and usually quite young people. When I had this opportunity, I was like, this is what I've been looking for. This is a prophet who has been called by God. God speaks to him directly. He'll be able to guide me in how I can live my life.
There were a male dormitory and a female dormitory.
There was a culture of like nakedness in the room. It was good to be body positive and not have any clothes on.
Just being completely naked in the female dorm room, my mind instantly went to Adam and Eve. I immediately thought, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I got taken by 2 women and they stripped me naked and they pushed me in a shower and turned the water on. And I remember saying something along the lines of, I can do it. And they were like, no, we're your sisters now. We're here to do this for you.
I didn't really know anyone's last name, really their age. I was Sister Kara.
I was Sister Annika. That was immediately encouraged to see each other as family.
You can be tempted by your friends, father, mother, sisters. The kind of friend you are having, they are the one leading you to do evil.
We try to persuade them to willingly separate from their people, to willingly stop that constant communication with their homes.
You couldn't contact anyone outside. I didn't have my own cell phone. We didn't have really access to our own personal email. We didn't have our passports. They held them for us.
Say, my past is over. Your past is over now.
Every relationship you have in this world, you have to cut them off. He makes sure you do that. You have no other family. Your family is TB Joshua.
Jesus used to say to his disciples, leave your father and mother and join me. That's what we had all done. We had left our families.
I suggest to any mums and dads out there who've got kids like mine, bring them to the Synagogue Church of All Nations and let the Lord move in them.
When I first arrived, it was only a couple of days that I started hearing disciples calling him Daddy.
We all called him Daddy. Everybody called him Daddy.
He tried to look after us and, we would all call him Daddy. I thought it was a bit odd, but I brushed it aside. I dismissed it. I can't really look back and say that my childhood was really happy. And he seemed to be really caring towards me and different, like a really warm and friendly guy.
He had like this office which had a cupboard in it, but I had a whole bunch of like imported sweets. And he kind of used these as like little treats for people, almost like we were kids.
He'd always sit on a swivel chair, and sometimes he'd push off the wall and go, wee! And everyone would go, oh, he's so silly. We'd revel in that. Oh, silly Daddy.
It's like you're in this kind of perpetual childhood state because he also treats you like a child. And he calls you a child.
There was this kind of like regression that took place. Just like giggle like a kid and stuff. It was so strange.
I want to be just like Prophet Joshua.
Oh, you say you want to be just like Prophet Joshua. Glory be to Jesus. Hallelujah.
I was 17, but I felt like a 12-year-old, like I was very young in terms of understanding of the world. I remember just feeling like I feel at home. Like I felt these kind of warm sensations.
It's just manipulation, just trying to manipulate them. And that's exactly the way Joshua does it. Brainwash them with good words, with love.
Already I know there are some people who are saying these were bought actors. These were paid to come and testify. You can't pay everyone, my people. Not everyone has a prize. These are people that had an experience with TB Joshua. These are people that are coming out to express what they went through in the hands of your so-called holy, philanthropic, loving, spiritual father called TB Joshua. Now tell me, draw a line. Is there any difference between TB Joshua and Boko Haram? Tell me if there is. Oh, he did this to orphanages. Oh, he was philanthropic. Oh, he preached love. Oh, that was a facade, my people. Oh, that was a cover-up. The dude knew what he was doing. This is bad. It's sad. And it's not only Joshua that is doing this. All of them, they are involved in these cults. It's our sisters, our daughters, that are on the receiving end of all these atrocities. That's why I always discourage you to finance these shrines. Every time you give money to any of these prophetic shrines, you are literally becoming, unconsciously becoming, an accomplice to all these atrocities. Without your money, they wouldn't have the power and the influence to destroy lives as they have been doing it or as they are doing. Think twice, my people. More episodes are coming. We'll bring them for you, for your analysis. At the end of the day, it's the flock that we are fighting for. We don't care about Joshua. We don't care about the rest of these Draculas, these bomboclats. We care so much about the church, the body of Christ. The mostly affected are women. And they are the main target of these agents of darkness. He was a man of love. He was philanthropic. To hell with his philanthropy. And to hell with his messages of love. This man was diabolic. Take it or leave it. Get out of here if it offends you. Too gullible for nothing, man.